Welcome to Tarot Q&A with a twist. It's been a while. I am very excited to be back here with something more special than usual. Now, for the regulars, you get to ask a question, and normally we use the tarot to get some guidance for your life so that you can stay on track and be more aligned with your soul's purpose and basically just live your best life. However, we are up leveling things today big time, and I'm a little bit proud of myself, I've got to say, because I'm introducing you to my own little magic source of tapping into your subconscious mind. And today we're going to discover how this beautiful velvet deck of keys works and how you can use it to bust those subconscious blocks, those limiting beliefs, the stories that you've been telling yourself, some that you may know and some that you may not know, that actually block you from really being more of your full self, more of your absolute self. Some might like to say your authentic self. However, I take it to that point of absolute, because once we can strip away the layers of the ego, the layers of conditioning, the layers that we've accumulated through our experience in life, from relationship drama to hurts and pains of losing people, through just life experience. But I do like to put a bit of a disclaimer in here and say, you know that every challenge is actually your gift, right? Your greatest challenge is your greatest gift. And when we can turn it like that, life gets so much more easy and enjoyable. So we have a few of you in the house. Hello, Shelley. Very cool to have you here. And because you have put your comment in so quickly, you will be the first up when we start pulling the cards for each individual. Hello. Oh, hi, Sonia. Now, it's great to have everybody here live, because this way you get to actually have an experience of what these keys are all about. As you can see, they are keys. They may look like oracle cards, and to some degree they are, because it is our way of tapping into our higher self or tapping into the universe to get some guidance. All right, so what we need in the comments, if you do want to play the game as such, the game of life with these velvet deck of keys, you'll need to pop in the chat, give me a key, Phoebe. Hello, Carmen. Right, now we will see. Yes, I understand that, Marie. And Karen, is it Karen or Karen? Let me know. Now, what I'm doing as I'm shuffling is just tuning in, okay? I just want to get into the zone. It was a little bit of a mad panic here to arrive. And so, yeah, do pop in the chat. Give me a key. Shelley is up first, and then she will be the way we can show you how these work, because we're going to do some personal picking of the cards. Oh, if I don't throw them all over the floor. And then I will actually explain to you how you can use this deck to supercharge your transformation. Now, what this means is these cards are helping you to recognize the block that is waiting for you to clear. All right. So sometimes we're so caught up in our head that we can't see the wood for the trees. So the idea is with these cards is that you tune in. And now when I say tune in, all you need to do is take a few moments of stillness, be quiet with yourself, and a simple 3 conscious breaths is actually a mini meditation in itself, and it can help to bring you into that center. All right. And when you do that, you're just basically asking to hear the wisdom of your higher self, to hear your intuition, to hear your inner knowing. All right. Hey, Lucy, I wondered if you were coming. I would certainly be giving you a key. All right. Now, let me be clear. The Velvet Union is really about divine conscious relationships. However, are you aware that life is very holistic? Everything affects everything else, right? So if, for example, you are single and you'd like to draw in a relationship, it's a good idea to feel in the vibration as if you already are in a relationship, because guess what? Like attracts like. That's just the basic physics, right? Basic law of physics, law of attraction. And when we can believe that we are, in theory, already in that loving, amazing, understanding, sexy relationship, then we're more likely to get it. But if we find ourselves focusing on being single and being lonely, then we'll just attract more of that. And then conversely, if you're in a relationship, well, the navigating never stops, really, does it? There's always the twists and turns. So whenever you come up against a kerfuffle, a conundrum, a problem, an issue, a hard time, whatever you want to call it, you can take a moment, sink in, reconnect by doing your 3 breaths, and ask your velvet deck of keys, what do I need to hear right now? Now, this question can come about anything. It doesn't have to be related to the relationship. For example, you might be finding that you can't make enough money at the moment. That's just a basic example. And so, why would you use the Velvet Union deck of keys? Because everything is entwined. So, if you are finding that you can't attract, for example, a lot of money, maybe you're not valuing yourself, maybe you have suppressed your self-worth or your understanding of the fact that you are magnificent, you've suppressed that memory, and therefore you're not receiving all the goodness, you're not receiving the abundance that is innately yours. And when I say this, that is love, money, happiness, joy. Abundance comes in all levels, right? So if we open up the gates to receive the abundance of positivity, then we get it on all levels. Well, you know what it's like. You have a bad day, everything goes wrong. You stub your toe, then there's heaps of traffic, and then you break something, and it's all just this ripple domino effect of annoying things on the bad day. And the opposite is true. Having a great day, falling in love, well, everything feels like rainbows and unicorns, doesn't it? It's just that domino effect that whatever we focus on, the more we get. So I'm banging on about this because it's important for you to realize that my key message here is what we believe, we become. We don't get what we want ever unless it coincides with what we deeply believe at the subconscious level. This is the most important thing you need to know when you're working with these cards. You must deeply believe whatever it is that you hope to have in your reality. So we've got to the first part. You're going to pick a key. Hello, Phil. Fancy you being here. You're going to pick a key. You're going to pick a key. Let's start. Let's do an example with Shelley. We're going to pick Shelley a key. Shelley, do you have a question, or are we just going to, she just wants to know what the cards have to here to say. All right. And then when we have the key, you can use this key to have you then get your little guidebook, and the key actually has the belief you must embody in order for you to have the desire you want, whatever the desire it is. It doesn't have to match the belief, as I've explained. And when you open up your little secret guidebook where it tells you what the belief is all about, it will point out, dare I say, the problem. Okay. So if you're feeling, well, you'll see, it points out the challenge that you may be going through and how this belief, if you start to believe it, will null out that challenge. Now, affirmations are all well and good, but actually, unless you've got 50 hours a day for 50 days for 50 years, it's going to take a long time to shift that subconscious belief by just repeating affirmations. So I like to work, as you know, at the subconscious level. You choose your modality. Maybe for you, it's tapping or hypnotherapy, whatever it is. I love Psych K and soul aligned therapy. These are therapies that have changed my life. So I work individually with my clients to give them a specific position that helps to balance their left and right brain so they can literally reprogram their subconscious mind using these decks of keys. So it's pretty out there, right? This is therapeutic. This is healing. This is therapy. This is not just a little bit of woo-woo, a little bit of angel cards and candlelit incense, smelly smells and nice rainbows. It's actually really, really powerful stuff, all right? So Shelley, what does Shelley need to hear right now? Drum roll, please. Thanks for your patience, guys, by the way, but it's important to understand where we're coming from. Oh, creative legacy. What we have here is the understanding. So if this could be taken as somebody who is wanting to get pregnant or wanting to create something in their life, maybe be more creative. But of course, that's just the initial understanding. As you get closer, you'll see that there's two beliefs at the bottom. And in every card, there is both a masculine and a feminine belief. The feminine is represented by the upside down triangle, and the masculine is the right side triangle. Okay, so you actually can choose whichever belief you want to balance for yourself, because at the end of the day, we are a mix of both masculine and feminine energies. Every single human, doesn't matter what you identify with, we're a combination of masculine and feminine. The real mystery for people is that a positive version of the masculine energy or the feminine energy, or negative? Like, are we, as an example, a feminine negative out of balance energy would be being really overly emotional, feeling feeling victim, being a bit of a crybaby. And I don't mean to be rude, because I think that crying is very, very important, but you know the difference between expressing emotion and being real and connecting with yourself versus trying to get attention or something like that. And then being in the positive of the feminine would look like something just a very nurturing, very creative, very soft and naturally intuitive, and in her power by tapping into the flow of her divine feminine essence. That's a really, really brief way of describing it. So what happens is, in this day and age, many women have been stuck in their masculine, and I will own this myself. It has been a journey working for yourself in business. We can be stuck in our masculine energy and then wonder why we don't attract our masculine counterpart, because it's like the match isn't there. We don't have the right balance. We're too much in the masculine. We're too in control of our lives. We don't need any help. However, as an example, we need to learn to receive and not always be in control. And we need to soften and not always be on a mission. And that can be challenging for the average female in our society. So my personal mission at the moment is to be more aligned with my divine feminine energy. And that's actually how some of these cards started to come about. I was creating them for myself, and they turned into an awesomeness. So if you were in a relationship, or you might find that, or if you're not, this can be a representation of feeling disconnected around family. This card, legacy, creative legacy, or disconnected around the shared legacy. Like in a relationship, that might look like that someone wants to have children and the other person doesn't. So we then go to our little book, oopsie daisies, and we read the blurb, and it gives us more information about how you can shift your conscious mindset. Now, because we're using our lovely Shelley as the first guinea pig, I'm going to explain what I then do with clients. So we find out the beliefs that the person needs to transcend, right, in order to have their desired outcome. And then I usually use myself as a surrogate to tune into the energy of my clients so that I can work with kinesiology. Now, if you don't know what kinesiology or muscle testing is, we might have to save that for another day, because we've got a lot to get through. But because I work on Zoom with all my clients, I can't physically muscle test. I can't physically give them a kinesiology test. So I'm able to tap into the energy, because I obviously am an intuitive, and I work that way in all the things I do, from tarot reading to soul aligned therapy. So because I'm in Shelley's energy at the moment, I can offer Shelley the position right here, right now. So the belief that Shelley is going to balance right here, my goodness, I need my glasses. Where are they? Listen, is I am, excuse me, guys. Oh my goodness. I am honored as the sacred vessel of creation. My dreams blossom with ease. I am honored as the sacred vessel of creation. My dreams blossom with ease. Now, as you can see, depending on what might have been relevant for the character person choosing this card, Shelley may be wanting to change jobs, for example, and she is in fear that she doesn't have that personal freedom or ability to make that leap right now and be her own creator. She may feel safer in the security of a job, so to speak. Okay. So that means this belief will help her to start to get her energy aligned with having the confidence to reach out and expand her own experience. Now, Shelley, where are you at? Is that relevant to your story at all, to be able to know that if you felt honored as a sacred vessel of creation, like you're really proud of who you are, knowing that you have this ability and all of your dreams can blossom if you only believe it to be true? All right. Now, when we do a Psych K balance, in this sort of environment, I'm going to use one called the New Direction, and it requires us to cross our hands and our feet, and this gets the left and right brain talking to its counterpart. And this is where I can tune in for Shelley, and I can ask her to put her left foot over her right foot and her left hand in front of her right hand. Now, I'm giving you all the instructions here at the same time because if I'm going to tell each one of you what you need to do to balance this here today, you'll literally get the activation yourself. So, Shelley is putting her left hand and her left foot over the other. She's going to reach her hands in front like this. And this is really getting the brain to start to balance itself. Now, this may remind you of being at school when you had to cross your legs and cross your arms and sit up straight on the school mat. It's exactly the same concept as far as calming the human self down, calming the nervous system down so that the brain wave is in a state, is in a calm, safe environment for it to take on new information. So think of that. If you're a kid on the school mat, I don't know if they even do that still now, but if you're sitting up straight on the school mat, legs crossed, arms crossed, and you're ready to learn the next thing, right? Well, this is what we're doing right here, right now. We are putting ourselves into a left-right brain balance so that we can embrace new beliefs. Now, sure, these are only one belief at a time, but this is a huge shift for the average person. So you can do this in your own time, anytime, or you can also have some supercharging opportunities that I'm going to tell you all about shortly. Now, we've got to race along because everybody is here for a card, and now I'm going to pull a card for Lucy. Is there any questions about what I've explained so far? Can you please say, yes, that makes sense, or no, that's so confusing, or yeah, I love it, or I knew that already, or just give me some understanding of where you're at, because I would love to fill in the gaps and help you to be able to use this beautiful Velvet Union deck of keys to unlock conscious love. You know, this is only the first deck. There are actually 7 very empowering decks. I'm super excited about the other ones too, I must confess. Let me show you some of the imagery while we're just sitting here. We're not just sitting here reading cards, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. So we've got, oh, did I tell you that I made all these images? Oh my gosh, I never thought I could do such a thing. Yes, I used AI. I didn't think I'd be into that, but I did. All right. So amazing. It's been quite a work of art. All right. Hello, Saharola. And we just want to refer back to Shelley. She says, I definitely hold back on change. Stepping out of the comfort zone is not something she does. Hello, Mega. Calvin. Sorry, you missed the intro. That's all right. We can pull you a card. Thanks, Lucy. You probably know what we're on about because she's done plenty of work with me. Let's pull Lucy a card. What does Lucy need to hear right now about her relationship or otherwise? She will know when she hears the message. Okay, Lucy. Safe and appropriate to pull a card for Lucy right now? Yes, it is. What is Lucy going to get? Oh, this is all about united forces. Very interesting, because the belief that Lucy needs to embrace right now is, I feel empowered in our partnership. Together, we amplify love, joy, and strength. Now, just to give you a bit more understanding of the reason somebody may need to use this card, it's often in times when people are feeling unsupported or alone in challenges. All right. So that is the belief that Lucy would probably benefit from within her current relationship, to just feel more connected and be united with the future together. Whether that's true or not, we will find out. Isn't that interesting, Lucy? So who shall we pull the next card for? What about Zahar? Oh, sorry, I was about to pronounce your name a bit wrong there, but thank you for the compliments, Zaharola. Excuse me if I'm not quite getting that perfectly. We will pull you a card. Remember, if you want a card, you need to put "give me a key" into the comments. Zaharola, is that your card? Divine worth. Some of my cards are a little bit sexy too. I do like to bring out the divine masculine and feminine in both beauty and etheric power. I think it's important to embrace the physical in our human life. Divine worth. Let's see what the belief is. I'm reading the feminine ones for you. I'm just going with that because otherwise we're here all year, right? I embrace the truth that I'm inherently worthy of love, devotion, and respect. I am enough. Now, someone may pull this card when their supposed problem, or whatever, if you want to call it a project, it's actually how I usually like to refer to a problem, because they are projects. Because once we're over them, we've learned something. It's about doubting your value in love. Okay, so that is just a reminder that even though we may even have been in a relationship for a long time, it doesn't mean that we at the core level feel worthy. When I work with clients, I actually have discovered over the last 10 years that I need to start with self-love and self-worth and self-esteem before we go on to any other topics. Whilst we talk about business and money and confidence and love and tricky things in love and all the dynamics about love, a lot of business stuff, first of all, first and foremost, we always do self-esteem, because even though we can consciously know that we are cool and we're enough and we're awesome and we're amazing and magnificent, we may have got to that level. Some people haven't even got to that level, and that's okay. But I do want to encourage people to know that you are magnificently worthy just because you exist. And when you can tap into that soul understanding of who you are uniquely, then you will appreciate your unique worth. So what I'm saying is, you might consciously think you're worthy, but your life will represent that it's not solid on a subconscious level if you're not receiving all the love and abundance of goodness in a free-flowing way. Now, this is not for anybody to feel ashamed or guilty or put down or not doing things correct. This is the game of life. It's actually, we all go through this. So please, everybody, when I'm giving you some cold, hard truths, I'm actually doing it from my beautiful hot heart. I think it's important to recognize that if we can't see like where maybe we could polish it ourselves, then slowly the dust just keeps on adding on top of it, doesn't it? So I'm all about clearing layers of our conditioning rather than putting new layers of stress back on top. Most people go through life just carrying on, gathering more layers of experiences and drama and crap and random thoughts. But if you go on the path of enlightenment and you want to be your best self and you're taking the spiritual route and consciously creating your life, you're at the driver's seat. You're literally doing a striptease as you walk through life, getting rid of those layers. Woo! Isn't that good? Just thought of that. All righty. Enough of that carry on. Let's give Sharon a key. She's a bit sneaky. She's just popped on and she's getting the key. Don't worry, I have seen your other ones up there as well. All right, Sharon. Oh, sorry. I haven't given the left and right brain crossovers yet. Can we do a little bit of that at the end for those that are still here because of the time it takes to get through everyone? Sharon. So if I... All right, Sharon, what we are needing to tell you, oh, goodness gracious me, talking about sexy times, we've got pleasure, please. Pleasure, please. This card is called Pleasure, Please, and it is about my pleasure is important. It's sacred and essential, and I am cherished in its fulfillment. So this particular card often comes up for people when like honestly, some of these cards are a little bit sneaky. This card is actually when the partner is sometimes prioritizing his own pleasure, or it could be the woman, but yeah, it's actually saying, can I have some pleasure too, please? Goodness. But that happens, right? That does happen. People get a bit sort of lackadaisical in a relationship. But it can also be that you're not in a relationship and that you need to be getting that pleasure because it's a human need, right? It's a human requirement. So while I remember, if you want to tap yourself into that particular vibe and know that you're worthy of that pleasure, Sharon, simply put your left foot over your right and your left hand over right and place your fingers. So you're left and left. Lucy, I will give you yours while you're here. And your feet are left over left. And your hands are right over left. Now, when I do the funny breathing, that's just me swapping energies into somebody else's. Let's talk to Leah. Thank you for being here, Leah. So does everyone like the look of the cards? Leah. What does Leah need? Leah, did you have a question or did you just want to hear what you need to hear? Oh, interesting. We've got another divine worth. What did I say? Divine worth? Honestly, it's a popular one. And this time I'll give you your Psyche balance as well as yours Zaharola. Okay. I embrace the truth that I am inherently worthy of love, devotion, and respect. I am enough. Leah, your feet are right over left and your hands are left over right. Now, we're going to give Zaharola. Yours are hang on. Your feet are right over left and your hands are left over right as well. Left over right, interlace your fingers and sink into that belief. You might need to watch the replay to remember it or just buy a deck of cards. Oh, let's talk about that and then I'll get on to some more of them. So I didn't get a chance to send out the final email today because a few tech issues to be fair, but the big deal, the 24-hour special super soul ambitious soul price is starting now, basically. Well, it starts when I end this video, and I will put into the notes of this video, into the blurb, the details where you can purchase this deck for 40% off retail. Okay, so this is a 24-hour offer. This time tomorrow it will go up in price again. It will be at a launch price, which will still be lower than retail, but it'll be a lot more than the $59 that I'm charging for this. Now, as you can imagine, these are small runs. This is a private. I don't that they aren't that they cost a bit of money to produce, right? So I'm selling them at this price because I want people to have them and to play with them and to experience them. But also, you can actually buy 3 decks for only $151. Now that is less than the price of 2 packs, and you'll get 3 packs that you can give away to for Christmas presents and whatnot. All right, so I'm going to put all the details. I'll give them to you after this session, because there's another very important thing you need to hear before we end, though, because you need to know how you can find out how you can transcend all of these beliefs around having a conscious relationship and more. Because for each and every card, I literally have created another 20 to 50 beliefs around the exact same topic. So how are you going to get your hands on those, right? Because that's powerful. Imagine reprogramming 44 times 20 or 50. Let's meet in the middle and say, let's say 40. 44 times 40 beliefs. That's a heck of a lot of beliefs. What is that? I don't know, 4,000 beliefs or something? I don't know. How much is that? But anywho, so when we reprogram that many layers around the same topic, if you don't have a shift in your life, if you don't have an improvement in your love life, in your relationship, in how you value yourself, and how much you love yourself, then I will eat my hat. That's all I'll say. 4,000 beliefs-ish or thereabouts, or whatever you want to use for in order to do your own personal work. You can choose a DIY version of this. Is that actually 4,000? I don't know. Can someone calculate that for me? Then, or you can do a community version. Okay. Now, if you think this is a pretty powerful product that can actually do some real therapeutic benefits, it's not just a fluffy pack of pretty cards, then please give me a thumbs up. I'm expecting the thumbs up. I've got 5 thumbs up, guys. I'm just wanting a bit of love coming my way. Thank you, Leah, for saying the cards look gorgeous. Now I'm going to whiz back here and pick a card for the lovely Sonia, and then we're going to do Karen, or Karen, not 100% sure, and then Carmen, all right? Hold the line, callers. Hold the line. We're getting in. Whew. Sonia, what do you need to hear right now? Oh, another thing to mention, these are just samples. These are samples. The real ones are even more sparkly and glamorous, all right? So these are just like samples. So wait for the real stuff. Sonia. Here. Is Calvin still here? Does he win a card? What about Phil? Okie dokie, Sonia. You might be interested to know that your card is about beautiful boundaries. Beautiful boundaries. Cute little picture of these people happily showing each other their boundaries. Happily. Like they're having fun sharing the boundaries rather than being scared of putting a boundary in place. So often we're scared to put a boundary in place because we think if we do that, people aren't going to like us anymore, or that it will just end in tears or something. So this is actually specifically about having difficulty saying no. So if you read more of the guidebook, which obviously we can't do everything today, but this is my guidebook. Isn't that cool? All the pretty pictures, full color, amazing, right? Oops, sorry, this is not my best promo, but you know. Can you tell me, Sonia, do you have difficulty saying no? You will be surprised at how accurate these cards are. There is no coincidence that you're here today. There's no coincidence of the card that you pulled. All right. Now, Phil is still here. You're on the list. Now we're going to pull a card for Karen, then Carmen. Is it Karen or Karen? Safe and appropriate. Yes, it is. Is that the correct card? Okay, your card is called Caring Conflict. All right. She doesn't look too happy, this woman in this image. Caring conflict. So it's probably fairly obvious when this needs to come about, because we need the caring conflict in our lives when conflict feels really overwhelming. So that would be the problem or the project. When conflict feels overwhelming, yet it needs to happen in order to overcome a block in the relationship. So your belief is, I anchor in calm clarity. Oh my goodness gracious me. I can't see. It's getting dark. I anchor in calm and clarity, transforming conflict into deeper understanding and love. And then, of course, you can read the blurb for more. The blurbs in the guidebook actually give you like a bit of advice on how to practically do it. And they give you some confidence about why to do it. Like, often people are not aware that if you're really vulnerable, it actually builds deeper intimacy. Many people just know that's an obvious one, but so be it. Okie dokie, let's pull one for Carmen. Carmen, it's so nice to have you here. I've been dreaming of you joining the big event. Oh, I've just got to tell you guys now, all right? So as part of this particular package, you can buy the deck and use it, and it will be beneficial to just wake yourself up sometimes and give yourself a bit of wisdom and remind yourself to listen to your intuition and to really have some ideas of how to connect with your loved one more, as well as what to believe in yourself and what to practice daily to draw in the most amazing soulmate of your life. However, if you want to work with me, I obviously am going to offer you a super duper deal. And it's a group thing or a DIY thing. So the group thing, we're going to work together in an intimate group, like less than 10 people, because obviously it's really personalized and everybody gets individual attention about what they need to do in order to balance all of the beliefs that we talked about. Is it 4,000? I don't know. We might not make it to 4,000, but we're going to get a lot of beliefs done in a 12-week process every second week. So we're going to start in the beginning of December. We're going to have a break for Christmas, and we're going to carry on. And we work together in a small group to encourage each other to make changes, share the progress if you want to share, or just simply do the transformations in real time. I've heard from clients that are already working with me that they enjoy working in the groups because it seems more powerful. The activations feel more dramatic. They really feel a sense of, they can feel the shifts. I mean, some people start having tears roll down their face. Most people are yawning and yawning and yawning because the breath is the shifter out of the old into the new. And sometimes those yawns are so hardcore that we can hardly get them out. But with the Psych-K process that I use, you feel the shift. I mean, you guys, many of you are clients of mine. Tell them in the comments if you think that this is worth mentioning, because I'm encouraging you to either join the portal, the Velvet Union portal. Obviously, you've got to get in quick because there's only 10 spots. And there is going to be a super price for that that's only available also for the next 24 hours. Now, I don't mean to sound like a salesperson, but hey, I got to sell these things and I want to make these transformations happen for you too. The other option is the DIY version, where I send you the information, all the instructions, and you can do it in your own time, because that way you don't have to be in a group. And you know what? Some people just don't like working in groups. They're funny about the Zoom thing until they experience it. And then once they've experienced the Zoom, they're like, oh, that was so good. It was not that bad, not that awkward after all. Because our groups are really, I pick my people really specifically. I literally combine the people in the groups that are going to be, multi-dynamic, like different types of people. However, they all complement each other and come from a different viewpoint, and different inspirations can bounce off new thoughts and ideas, can't they? Carmen, did I actually pull a card? I didn't, did I? No. So we're up to Carmen. I excuse the all over the place. I appreciate your patience. There's a lot to get through, isn't there? Carmen, what do you need to hear right now? Is that your one? Carmen, safe and appropriate. Okay. Beautiful. It's good how you get to see the cards, isn't it? This is called Peaceful Warrior. Sexy beasts, aren't they? So the Peaceful Warrior is, let me see if I can read this without actually needing my glasses. No, I can't. The Peaceful Warrior actually is often needed when people are holding resentment, all right? So that's usually the project people are working with, finding it hard to let go if they're pissed off at someone. So I forgive with ease and I choose understanding as a path to freedom. And the masculine version is I accept others as they are with ease and I choose forgiveness as a path to strength. So, Carmen, while I remember, because I've forgotten some of the other people's, feet right over left, hands left over right. Now, where was I going with that? Yes, reminding you that if we believe this at a deep core level, we change our experience of our reality. That's something we need to understand and fully utilize. That's why these beliefs might seem basic or obvious, but that's not how we grow up. We grew up to have some attitude as humans, right? Right, we're going to pull a card for Phil. Rattle my dags. Rattle my dags. Is there any questions? Does it all make sense? Does it all make sense? Who would love to be in at the Velvet Union portal where you literally get to connect in with myself and a few other amazing people every second week, where we just keep opening up the door to be more aligned with conscious love, loving ourselves more, and also choosing to tune in to our ultimate soulmate connection, whether it's the one you're in now, deepening that connection, strengthening the bond, building the intimacy, or a whole new relationship. Phil Chase, long time no see. What you need to hear right now, according to the cosmos, is, and I'm tapping in here, the vow. Okay. What this card is about is, or when we often need to use this card, is when we're avoiding commitment. How does that sound, Phil? Are you good at committing to relationships? I don't know. Are you? But anyway, no need to be too cheeky about it. Let's see what this says. My love continually. Oh, I'll read you the masculine option, eh? How about that? Not my love continually renews itself with passion, adventure, and presence. What this is referring to is often people that are avoiding commitment is because they think it's going to, like lose its flavor and not be adventurous anymore, and like the passion will die or something. So this is like the vow of, no, I'm going to keep that passion alive. We're going to have adventures forever. I can have a relationship and have everything. How does that sound, Phil? Spicy? Now, if you want to do your Psych K balance, Phil, and you're watching this, I'm going to get you to put your right foot over your left, and you're going to get your hands, and you're going to put your left hand in front of your right, and then you reach them forward like that, interlace the fingers, take them up to your heart, and you sit with this for as long as you feel called to do so. And many of my regular clients watching this will be saying, Fiona, you forgot to lock it in. Oh my God, I have. Oh, I forgot to tell everybody that when you finish the shift, you must lock it in. You put your fingertips together like this for a good long 10 seconds, and you want to lock that belief in. But it's okay. You guys can go back and do it again in your own time and make sure you've locked it in. Yes, I wondered if Kath is watching, Shelley. So I will pull her a card shortly once I've just checked everything else. So Kath, I can't see you there. Look, guys, where's all the thumbs ups? One doesn't like to have to ask, but you know, I put my heart and soul for 4 months into this deck amongst a few other decks. 4 months. It was like something I've never created in my life. And I need to spread the good word. So if you subscribe to my channel and like my videos, then obviously more people will find out about these cards. Mega, I know you're waiting for a key. It's your turn now. And then Calvin, we will get to you. Okay, Mega. Are you still here? It's a shame we're not on Zoom. I'd love to see all your faces. Maybe we'll do that next time. Is this the card? Omega. Oh, beautiful. I love this one for you. Higher calling. Another risque shot, right? Another risque shot. Higher calling. So, Mega, this one comes up when people, the problem that this particular belief can counteract is, I just forgot what I was saying there for a second, when people are settling for less. So if you're finding that you are settling for less in your life, then this card is definitely accurate for where you're at right now. Honestly, I'm going to have to get my candles to see my light. Alrighty, guys. I honor my highest standards in love, and I trust the right partner rises to meet me. Boom! That's what you need, isn't it? We don't need to settle for less. Aim high. You deserve the best. Calvin, are you there? Give me a hi in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to go straight and read for Jessica, who is in London and couldn't make the live, or she might have if she got up at 6 o'clock. Don't know if she did. So we'll quickly pull a card for Jessica, and then we have one for Nikki, who's currently in Egypt, of all places. Oh, hello, Calvin. You're up. We'll do you next. Okay, thank you for being here, everyone. It's so nice that you've stayed and been hanging out. I do realize that it's a lot, but you know, I want to give all the love to all the different people, so I am doing that. Is this Calvin? Calvin? No. Safe and appropriate to pull a card for Calvin. Yes. Where's the card? Card's not coming through. What does he need? Yeah. Nearly there, Calvin. Hold the line. Is that the card? Yes, yes. Oh, nice. Heart Sanctuary. Woo! Maybe these cards are a bit too spicy. So I stopped looking at them. There is some method in my design, some deeper symbolism, you can say, which you can read about when you buy the deck. Who's going to buy a deck? Who's going to buy a deck? Let me know in the comments who's buying a deck. Calvin, you can pop yourself in a Psych K position while I get my glasses. So your feet are left over right, and your hands are right over left. So Calvin, right over left, interlace, your feet left over right. And this is the mantra you want to say in your position. I honor my inner strength and self-trust, creating space for love to thrive naturally. So to make that make more sense, obviously you read the guidebook, but also you would be understanding that this is actually all about fear of abandonment. And that's a really common issue that I work with clients, actually. It's very common to have that fear, not just in relationships, but even in friendships. So it's a really powerful card, especially if you do the remaining 20 to 40 beliefs that I've written for various cards on top of that. And of course, there's 3 people who have already said they're buying the decks. So that's fabulous. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And all of that. That's Carmen. And Marie. Have I forgotten somebody? Oh, Nikki, that's right. We were going to pull one for Nikki. Nikki, who's in Egypt. Amazing. Quite interesting, actually, because there's a lot of ancient vibes within this concept. These decks were not something that were made with my head. I didn't intend to make this particular deck. It was just sort of, I was in the middle of creating some other more sassy decks that I wanted to finish, and this one just kept knocking on my door. So, in fact, I did mention to some people that this deck was actually birthed when I was dating somebody that I wasn't wanting to continue dating, and I had to navigate the communication around it because I was getting frustrated and disappointed, and I wanted to react, and I needed to remember my divine feminine counterpart and be a bit softer about it and not such a madam. So I started to remember what I know to be true about the divine feminine manner and ways we could say things that just are received nicely, and we hold our dignity, we stay at peace in our own heart, and we feel good about ourselves. And that's actually how it unfolded. So, yeah, I'm pulling a card now for Nikki. How bizarre is that? It's literally called Epic Voyages. It's about adventures and stuff. And what did I just say? She's in Egypt. And this card, actually, just so you get a bit of an idea of what's going on with the, why, when would you need this? It's like, it's just really about relationships or your life getting stuck in routine and lacking in adventure. Clearly, I'm just giving you brief understandings of what these are because there's a lot more involved with each. Now, Nikki's belief will be my love celebrates shared adventures, and my experiences are cherished as part of the journey. It's actually, I wish I could read you the whole guidebook because they're actually really beautiful, and it's understanding that your partner really, really values the having adventures with you too. So attracting somebody who would want to have adventures, not just wants to settle in and watch TV all night. And so if you're single and you're setting yourself up for a relationship and you want to balance this card, so if Nikki's watching the replay, she can use her right foot over her left and her right hand over her left. Okay, that's your position. And remember, lock it in. So yeah, it sounds a bit back to front because most people want to see something before they believe it rather than believe it before they see it. But that's actually how it has to be. We need to believe it before we can experience it. Woo! Hey, you guys are amazing. I really appreciate your patience and just staying here till the end. And Calvin says, thank you. Definitely resonates. A lot of work to do on self-abandonment, I would say. Well, Calvin, join the party, join the group, join the community. Or if you're too shy to do so, do the DIY version. I'll send you all the instructions and you can balance your 4,000 beliefs in your own time. And yes, you can ask a question. There's a new person coming on here that I cannot pronounce your name. And I apologize to a few people that I have not been able to pronounce your name very well. Sometimes it's not my forte. Calvin, 101 characters in that text remaining in that message. Go figure. Interesting. I love a good number. I love a good number repeating. Who's here still? Who's here? Let's have a chat. Let me know. I'll pull this card for the new person who's just popped on board. And then I want to know who's still in the room. Okay? Because we've lost a few because it's been quite a time. Kath, did I pull a message for Kath? I don't think I did. So we'll do Kath. Sorry, Kath. And then we'll do the new person. Just put an emoji in the chat or say I'm still here if you're here because I want to just have a quick chat at the end. Kath. Is that the card for Kath? Boundaries. Beautiful boundaries. Beautiful boundaries. Okay, so this belief is obviously about difficulty saying no. I honor my boundaries as acts of self love and I express them with ease and kindness. And the other counterpart, which may be more relevant, I harmonize. Oh my goodness, I can't see. I honor, not harmonize. I honor boundaries as sacred. I honor my boundaries as they honor boundaries of others and themselves, and I respect them with integrity and love. So it's honoring your own boundaries and honoring others' boundaries. Sure that makes sense, Kath. If you're there, your Psych K balance is feet right over left, hands left over right. Now, Sarah is still here. I didn't pull a card for you. Did you want a card? Jojo from Melbourne. Hello, hello. We're just going to pull one for what's coming towards me, my love. I'm not quite sure it's about. We'll just put your card. How do I say your name? Pargavi. Sorry, I feel a bit rude, but I don't mean to. My respect is all there. My pronunciation could do with some improvement. The card for our newcomer is... This is what you need to embrace and believe. You need to believe that you are a beautiful vessel for creation and you can embody the creations that you desire. Be it a piece of art, a new job, to be a superstar, to have a baby, or whatever it is for you. Jojo, let's pull you a card, right? Jojo from Melbourne. Cool. What do we have in store? Authentic radiance. Now, this one is a gorgeous card around how we can sometimes feel about our body image and comparison. So the belief is to, help ourselves to own our beautiful bodies and not compare ourselves or even our partners to other people. And the belief is I celebrate my body as a radiant whole and uniquely mine. I am worthy of love and acceptance exactly as I am. And the other one, the masculine counterpart, which both could be good for you. I honor my body as complete and powerful in its natural form. And I am worthy of love and acceptance exactly as I am. As you are, right? So that is gorgeous and really important because in this day and age, it's super easy to self-doubt and all that carry on. Now, Sarah, the lovely Sarah. Sarah, this one's for you. Give me a thumbs up if you're excited to be getting your card. Any questions, anyone? Any questions? Peacemakers. Beautiful. Now, people sometimes find themselves in a situation where they struggle to apologize. And so often this card will be pulled for people that find it difficult to apologize. And that can even be to yourself sometimes, where you're blaming yourself for things that maybe you could have done differently. So I attract relationships where accountability and repair are natural expressions of love. Well, ain't that beautiful, right? So if you want to do a Psych K balance, you can put your left foot over your right and your left hand in front of your right, interlace your fingers, hold them there until you feel the shift, maybe a couple of minutes. Put your fingertips together to lock it in for 10 seconds, and hallelujah, that belief will be planted. Now, it's powerful, yet imagine doing the multiple layers upon layer of all the beliefs, because, at the end of the day, we need to know it's safe to make these changes, that it's easy to make these changes, that we can, that we're capable, that we're worthy of these changes, that we deserve these changes. So when we look at the big picture of each of these 44 keys, we open a can of worms. And that's what the portal is for, the Velvet Union portal. It doesn't matter who you are in life, everybody will benefit from this particular portal. And yeah, it's just about whether it's important to you to be more aligned with your soul's vibration, or whether you want to be in the ego and just living a life that society told you to do. I've been breaking and busting old patterns and conditionings for the last 25 years, but it's only the last 10 years that I've done Psych K, and that's where I saw the most big shifts. And I am just the belief queen, if I do say so myself. Rate yourself, why don't you? No, I'm just all over it. I'm obsessed with transcending beliefs and making sure that your beliefs match your desires. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to muscle test myself, so I can tap in all the time and do some serious shifts in whenever I want to. And that's why I've created a lot of formulas for people that they can do in their own time, because it means that they can do a lot of beliefs without having to come and see me as well. So there is, yeah, my regular clients know that that's how I work. I know you need to do layer upon layer to get the real results. And some old beliefs are pretty stuck because they can be karmic, they can be inherited, from parallel lives. And so that's what I use solar line therapy for. We go back and I can tell you what happened in that parallel life. Some people call them past lives, but it's all happening right now. It's all now. There is no time and space. So if you like to know what the core block is that's stopping something evolving in your life or keeping you repeating patterns of destruct or self-sabotage, then you can check it out by coming and seeing me for a sesh. If you aren't on my mailing list and you want to receive all the information about these keys, please just email me. I'll pop the address into the blurb of this video. That should have already been done, but I ran out of time. So here we go. When will my girls believe in me? Jojo's asked a question. Well, we are. That's a big question for the cards we're choosing today. But we could easily look at that. Even if you wanted to have a tarot reading, would be a good idea, Jojo. So yeah, predominantly I began some of this work as a tarot reader. For those who don't know me very well, this is my deck of tarot. I do love my tarot. Can't let that one go. However, today we're just doing a little bit of self-assessment, self-reflection, and into the subconscious mind. But on that note, Jojo, the little message that I did get just then is just there's a missing piece to a puzzle. It's time to contemplate so that you can know what it is that you can embrace or have or do differently that will shift the relationship with your girls. Brief answer, but it's there. Okay, everyone. I do hope that you take advantage of the 24-hour super special, and I really look forward to connecting with you again. If I've missed anybody, please speak up now, and I will definitely pull a card before I jump off, and we can all enjoy our evenings. There, rightio. Thank you again for being here. It's really made my launch that much more special. So good to be able to share what I've been up to over the last 4 months. And I trust that you will enjoy the love, energy, and time I have invested into this pack. And when you see the other cards and decks that are coming out, I think you're going to love those even more. But buy this one first, of course. All right. Ciao for now. See you real soon, guys. Oh, hello, Nicola. Just in the nick of time. I'm going to pull you a card before you before you go. Okay, Jojo, I will get you to get my details off your friend who sent you this link. Nicola, who's getting married soon. Your card for you today is. Oh, it doesn't want to come out that easily, but we're going to get it. We are going to get it. Graceful giving. No, that's not the one. Is it the one? No. Oh my goodness. Why can't we find one? We're getting a repeat one. It's the Peacemakers. I believe this one is actually about the when when your partner struggles to apologize, or when someone in the relationship struggles to apologize. So I am actually going to read this one last one for Nicola because she has turned up in the nick of time, and I have not. Oh, and the message for you, the belief that is important for you to embrace, Nicola, at a subconscious level is I attract relationships where accountability and repair are natural expressions of love. So interesting. Can't wait to chat to you next about what's going on. All right. Look forward to your wedding, actually. Look forward to your wedding. And yeah, I don't want to get off, but I have to go. So I appreciate you, and we will see you here for the next tarot and velvet keys Q&A real soon. Lots of love. Bye.